You've selected a show from the Podcast Jukebox, a DIY podcast network.
It's Will Shawn Podcast. The internet cried out for two more blowhards, and they courageously answered that call. Armed with the weapon of wit, each week they're joined by guests to discuss movies, television, pop culture, and anything else that's pissing them off. Take it away, boys.
I'm Will Link.
And I'm Sean David.
And this is Will Shawn Podcast.
Well, definitely not at Cinefamily. How you doing, Will?
So, I wanted to buy new shoes.
Okay.
And I have this really weird brand loyalty to Skechers.
Because it's 1997.
I love Skechers. All my shoes are Skechers.
I did not know this about you.
And because I find them very comfortable. So I went to the Skechers. I was in Santa Monica at the 3rd Street Promenade.
Yeah.
And their Skechers has a very good selection. So I walked in there. And
a sketch lection?
I am not one to shop around.
Okay.
Like, I see something I like, and I'm like, oh, that's it. Let me just get that.
Yeah.
Like, I know, and I get it. And I said, oh, those are the shoes I want. Let me get them. And I said, I need these shoes. And I said, Will, go, what size? And they're like, size 9. And they come back, and they're like, they were black.
Yeah.
And they said, we don't have size 9 in black. We only have size 9 in orange here. And I'm like, I don't want orange shoes. That's ridiculous. And I said, I'll try them on to make sure the style fits okay. Yeah. But we got to get black shoes. And they said, oh, we could just order them online for you. They go to order them online. Oh, it's sold out in size 9 online.
The whole internet. They've got no more.
The whole internet. And I said, well, maybe another store has them.
Yeah.
And they're like, I said, can you call Burbank? They call Burbank. None. Glendale, none. Sherman Oaks, none. Then they go, we got a pair of these size 9 in black in Century City. If you want to go, you can go now and get them. I said, I can't. I got to go to the movies. I got movie tickets. I got to go. I can't get to Century City.
What, are they going to sell out in the hour?
I said, will they hold them for me?
Yeah.
And they said, only till tomorrow. I said, I can't go tomorrow. I said, I got to
pick them up for you.
I got to drive down. I should have had you pick them up. So what happened was, to make this very long story short.
No, it's good. Continue. Yeah, this is good.
I was very annoyed about these. But then, guess where they did have these shoes?
A block from your house.
Smithtown, Long Island. My mother went to the Skechers in Smithtown, Long Island, picked up these shoes from me.
So now come Christmas time, you'll have little shod booties.
Yeah, I'm very excited about these Skechers. It's the S.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that why you also have that brand loyalty to Stussy?
So what's going on in the World of Will Shawn Podcast?
I don't fucking know. Everyone, thank you for continuing to listen. Please make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes. Give us a star rating. Leave us a comment. Make sure you like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And also, we are part of the Jukebox Podcast Network, so check out some of the other fine shows on the network.
Like Off the Cuffs.
Like Off the Cuffs, whose co-host will be gracing our show soon.
Yes.
Yes.
And who's our sponsor this week?
Alabama, always young at heart.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, they're rapey.
They're rapey, but only of teenage girls who hang out at malls.
The virginal youth of America, I think is what you were looking for.
On the show today, speaking of rapey...
Maybe he just liked to buy Skechers.
Yeah,
So he's at the mall all the time.
Speaking of rapey, every week is more of this shit. Kevin Spacey. Now we're going to talk about Louis C.K. We've talked about Weinstein. We're going to talk about it all again. We're going to talk about it all again
for the rest of our lives.
For the rest of our lives. Also, the iPhone X is here. Sean played with one, but is he going to buy one? We will discuss.
All the topics can't be winners, people.
And Twitter finally did it. They finally increased...
Raped a child.
They finally increased the character count. And
Twitter, characters welcome.
I've got some thoughts. But first, you're wondering why we're in such a good, goofy mood? It's because we have a terrific guest, a returning champion, a hilarious lady. I'm building her up.
We know she's not drunk, but she's a giggle monster.
Alyssa Sabo.
Hello.
Oh, now Will got into your head, didn't he?
Yeah, Will got into my head when I came in here. He said my voice was weird.
Which is what people really love to hear before they get on a spoken word.
No, I
show.
can't talk. I'm just gonna use different voices all night long.
This is coffee talk.
But you do a lot of different voices.
I
and
do.
I thought maybe you were doing a voice, but maybe it's just
I think I was kind of like when I came in. I was like,
Is that what you were doing?
You were just overwhelmed by Will's
I was
pathologically clean
overwhelmed
apartment.
by the carpet. I wish you guys could see the carpet in here.
Tell us about the carpet.
It's like, so it looks like sand.
You're at the beach. My apartment's the beach.
Perfect sand though. There's like no like, I don't know. There's just something about it. Like I have carpet, but you can like tell that it's carpet.
Right.
You can't tell this is carpet.
What do you think it is?
You got like my carpet. You need the random red wine splotches all over it.
Yeah, it's very nice.
So, Alyssa,
Yes,
you're clearly hilarious.
clearly.
You've been on the show before, but we wanted to have you back because so much has been happening with you since you were here. You were here a very long time ago.
Yeah, when was I here?
I know.
Years ago.
Years.
I think at least
Was it? A
At
year.
least-
Sardo still existed.
Sardo.
at least a year and a half, if not
Yeah,
longer.
that's fair.
Real fast. Just to recap the new listeners from the Jukebox Podcast Network.
Yeah.
Where you're from originally, because you are not a Los Angelino.
That's for darn sure. I am from the great state of Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh, Johnstown, PA.
Yeah.
Isn't that where
Shout
all
out to
those
Johnstown.
colonists got killed?
Yeah. No, that's Jonestown.
Oh, okay.
We had a big flood.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I talked about the flood.
You talked a lot
Yes.
about the flood last time.
Probably too much.
I think it's a Bruce Springsteen song.
Probably. I live to talk about the flood in my
All those
hometown.
dead people.
But after the flood, after the waters receded,
Yeah.
you made your way out to L.A. to
I
pursue
made
comedy.
my way. Where there's no water.
Yeah.
And that's why I chose LA.
You're like, this city won't flood.
Yeah. So, yeah, I moved out here about 4.5 years ago. And I've just been, killing it. Everybody I meet is like, she's so funny. She's so perfect.
And you're like, wait, give me money.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, great.
But you are funny.
No, yeah.
And you started off more doing stand up or improv or
So I started out doing more stand-up, and now I've kind of just been thrusted into more of the improv life.
Well, you make a lot of videos. Like
Yeah.
there was like one video I remember us talking a lot about. The character we enjoyed was the kazoo lady.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I couldn't stop laughing. I lost my shit watching
She
that.
needs to come back. She
does.
She should be a guest on the show.
So it doesn't look.
Does she also have a
honestly,
weird
Talk. She just plays the kazoo.
we've been hard up for guests lately. Maybe we should have you come on just as various different.
Oh,
alter
I would
egos.
love that.
But that's the thing. It doesn't surprise me that you're leaning more into improv now, because anyone who listened to the last episode, we talked a lot about the characters you were creating.
Yeah.
On YouTube, the kazoo lady, people like that, and even in your stand up, you were doing characters. You have your character Danny.
Yes.
Tell us about Danny.
Danny Beckman is my cousin, not a character.
He definitely does not
So-
masturbate in front of women.
He definitely exists. He's a real person. No, yeah, he came from just being in the stand-up, like being in these comedy clubs. And I came up with Danny like 2 years ago. And he came from a place of just being overwhelmed by the male energy that was just so, like, I would literally sit and watch these guys go up and tell these like terrible jokes that were sexist, awful, not funny, but they were just committing with so much confidence. They had so much confidence. And I was like, what is going on? Like, how
Like
are they doing this? And like, I would go up and like, I think my jokes were pretty clever and like they were different and unique, but I didn't have that confidence. I was like scared all the time. And I was like, why am I scared? Like, this stuff is pretty good. And like, these guys are talking about just like the shittiest stuff that you could imagine. But yeah,
Vaginas,
they were
those are
just like,
scary.
yeah, they were just like up there with so much, like just like committing so hard. So I got asked to do a show that was like a sketch show where I was supposed to play like a character, like a crazy ex-boyfriend. And so that's where Danny was born. And then he really shined like at that show. And I was like, I think I need to take him
on the road.
take him on the road. And so a lot of people thought he was real. A lot of people still do think he's real.
So what kind of costume do you, when you're Danny, what does that look like?
So the Danny transformation is a wig that was given to me by my grandma. It's actually like an older lady wig.
Yeah.
But it looks like Justin Bieber, and it has just like bangs. And then I always wear a hat over it, so you can't necessarily
And you could jam all your hair under there.
Yeah, so you can't see what's going on. But like, yeah, I jam my hair under, so it's like genuinely like, it looks just like boy bangs, baseball cap, and then it's just Danny's all about layers, because he's from Chicago. So yeah, a lot of the stuff is like things that I own. I didn't really have to buy anything.
So it's like a hoodie and
It's like a hoodie, a jacket. He has this like signature blue vest that he wears. And yeah, just like looser fitting jeans or like sweatpants.
And were you finding you were getting more laughs as Danny?
Yeah, people were responding to him way more than me.
Like, what was a typical joke you would tell then as a man? Because this whole thing seems like it was all this kind of, for lack of a better word, like performance art piece on male comics, like on the ridiculousness of male comics. So what was like a typical Danny joke that might do well?
And were they different jokes than what you would normally tell on stage?
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like at the time when I came up with Danny, I was also in a period where I was a little uncomfortable to like be edgier with my comedy and like be personal. Like I was still kind of dealing with stuff, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about some of those like hot topic issues. I wasn't, you know what I mean? I didn't feel as free. So when I would transform into Danny, like I felt this freedom to just kind of explore whatever and say dick and fuck and these words that Alyssa is not as comfortable to say. So yeah, a typical Danny joke would be, you know, it would range anywhere from like, just so dumb, like a political joke would be not even political. Like he would just say like, oh, you know, the presidents are more, or better yet, musical instruments, you know, and just like a play on words, like President Obama, Donald Trumpet.
Wait a second.
Stuff like that, but he'll like set it up as like, you know, I'm gonna get political with you guys. I got a political joke coming your way, and you know, and then he just says like President Trumpet.
And that would get laughs.
And we get huge laughs. Well, and like the punchline was a little edgy. And I almost want to direct the viewers to the video. But yeah, the punchline was like, and then what about Hillary clitoris? And then he would be like, you know, I know the clitoris isn't a musical instrument, but I can make the clitoris make sounds. And like the biggest thing about it is like the way that he celebrates his punchlines, you are just on board. And like, so he'll do laps around stage, or he'll, you know, like pretend like he's slam dunking a basketball. And he just goes like, hey-oh! And it's just like insane. You know what I mean? Like he just
stupid confidence.
It's stupid confidence, and that's most of the jokes come in the punchline, like in how he celebrates. Yeah.
Did playing Danny bring Alyssa more confidence?
Yes. It really did.
But also terrible jokes.
But also, no, it did. Because then, like, you know, I would do... And then I recently did a stand-up show. And, you know, I was doing kind of, like, similar material that I, like, was doing last year. Just, like, tweaking those jokes. And, like, but it just crushed in a way that it's never crushed before. Because, like, now that I'm, like... Yeah, I just was able to, like, embrace who I am. Because Danny has, like, helped me in a lot of ways.
Have you ever thought of
this sounds insane.
Have you ever thought of doing a set where you come out and you're Danny and you're high-fiving and you're slam dunking and you're making Clinton jokes? Yeah. And then they're like, and now Alyssa Sabo, and you just take the hat off. You go,
oh my gosh.
Get real now.
That would be amazing.
And then like, I mean, it's her Tootsie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your Tootsie.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it was like, what is going on?
And that's the thing, like, sometimes people, I want them to really think that I'm a boy.
Same.
I really want, you guys want that? I really want it. I want to dive even more into it. And I think, at this point, you know, and now I take Danny, he'll do improv. He's on an improv team.
Yeah. So is he on the same improv team that you're on?
No.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's not.
But the people on the improv team know Danny's...
They know it's me, but they feed into it, and I never break character, even though everybody knows it's me. I never.
You're the
break
Daniel
character.
Day-Lewis of improv.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. This is
I wanna see this.
You've talked to me about this before. It's so fucking good. I don't know why this isn't like the biggest thing already.
I know.
Okay.
You guys
well,
need to see him perform improv.
Does Danny go around trying to grab peas?
Yeah.
where
No,
gotta be a
he's
creep.
actually respectful.
where does
Danny has a good Christian mother.
Yeah.
where does Danny do improv?
He does it at UCB and like the Clubhouse. He performed at the LA Indie Improv Festival.
Where does Alyssa do improv?
The same place.
Shockingly.
Groundlings, UCB, the Clubhouse.
But you're in an improv group right now,
Yeah.
right? That performs. Is it every Sunday night?
Pretty much, yeah. We have like one Sunday a month off.
Tell us about this group.
Yeah, so I got on a house team at UCB, it's called a mess hall team. So it's like, it has a 6-month run. And so it's kind of cool because, well, like, I don't know if you guys know anything about the improv world, but at UCB they have like Herald Night, and that is like a team that will kind of have like 1 year, like a year run, and then it can be like dismembered at the end of that year. It's kind of like confusing and weird, But with Mess Hall, it's kind of like the way they pitch it is like promising up and coming improvisers on a team.
Oh, you're a promising
So yeah,
up-and-coming
I guess I'm a promising up and comer, and but it lasts for 6 months. So basically, we rehearse every week. The UCB gives us a coach, so we're being like monitored and like it's cool. It's been fun.
So if the people wanted to see you do this, they could just go to UCB on a Sunday night, or
Sunday at 7, and we perform at Sunset, like in the Inner Sanctum Theater.
Sunset.
The Inner Sanctum.
I've never been to Sunset.
been.
I haven't been to Sunset location
I've only
either.
been to
Oh,
Franklin.
You gotta come, yeah. So there's Franklin, and then there's the Sunset, but then there's also like at the Sunset location, there's a cafe, and through the cafe is the theater that we perform.
Okay. In the back.
back. It's
Ask
very
Arturo
good.
for a cappuccino.
Yeah, no, but it's really great because like we actually get like big audiences because Ask Cat is the show that is at Sunset at 7, and like usually people can't get into Ask Cat, they come to our show, so it's so cool.
And your group again is called
Shimmy.
Yeah. So if you go to the website and you'll say like Shimmy's performing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then no, that's you. I want to talk about a
But
couple.
that's you as Alyssa.
It's me as Alyssa.
Okay.
Yeah, Danny is not.
Danny's not good enough for
He's
Shimmy.
not good enough for that.
I want to talk about a couple other things that you've been
Okay.
doing. Coma Land.
Yes.
I went to go see. I guess the first production of Coma Land.
That was the
at
debut.
at the Comedy Central stage. This was. There was some other people, and it was basically a one-woman show.
Yeah.
Of you and about your experience, which I believe you spoke of last time when you were on here, being in a coma. Mm-hmm. And it's all about you, when you were in the coma, all the wacky people you met.
Yeah.
Which are all the people in your head. And aspects of your personalities or your wants and desires and things like that. Tell us a little bit about Coma Land.
Yeah, so that show, honestly, like that show I have been trying to write something about that experience for a long time. I mean, 3 years probably. I tried to write a pilot about this wacky girl who gets a liver transplant, and I was just like, this isn't working. Like, maybe it will work eventually, but like, it just made more sense to me to be like a stage show. And it kind of like came from a place where someone posted about like, oh, I need a half an hour slot for someone's sketch show, and I hadn't even finished writing it. It was like halfway done writing, and I kind of messaged. I was like, "Yeah, me. I would love to," because I don't really like do well
that's
with
good.
deadlines.
You got to jump on
Yeah,
that.
But then all of a sudden, I get the pressure like a crap. I actually gotta do this
so
thing.
that's what. And then he was like, "Oh yeah, of course." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to actually do this." So yeah, I just kind of like posted up in my apartment for 2 months and wrote this show that was. The way I pitched it was like a coming of age story that took place in a coma. And it was a lot of it, I'd say like 50% of it was based on real things that happened to me in the coma, and then the other 50% was more like I wanted it to be really funny. And so
there's what I liked about it when I saw it was that it's a very serious topic. You're in a coma and you're dealing with like self-reflecting of your life.
Yeah.
But you yourself are also very wacky. You have a childlike sense of wonder. I mean, there's almost like a Pee-wee's Playhouse aspect to you. You know what I mean? So it captured both those things, I think, in a very fun way.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm very emotional.
But that's what I really liked about it. So, are there plans to do Coma Land in some other places?
Yeah. So basically now, honestly, like doing that show kind of emotionally like took a toll because it was, you know, like it was funny and wacky and that's like who I am, but I'm also kind of like I have like a dark side, and going through a near-death experience and then trying to like relive it was really hard and scary, and there was a lot of moments when I was writing that show where I thought I was dying again. And so I have now been revamping it into a new kind of like version of it that's a little more removed and not so much like dealing with like being in the coma, because honestly like being in the coma, like creating that world, you know, like Coma Land, and like being there, like it was kind of like dark. So I'm kind of creating more of like a new show. It has a new title, but I think Coma Land excuse me, has like it needs to live somewhere else.
What's the new title?
The new title is called New Liver Old Virgin. Just as exciting.
That's
So I think you should probably come to that one too if you liked Coma Land.
That tells you what you're getting.
Yeah, and it's a
But is
little
it
more
gonna have
alternative.
okay.
Yeah, it's more of a variety show. Like there's a section where my old liver does stand-up comedy. So if you like the idea of me doing stand-up in character, you're gonna like this show.
Did you? I want to see it.
Yeah, no, I've got like a really awesome director attached, and she.
Start date any?
Yeah, I actually I'm submitting it to like go up at UCB for like a trial run. So I don't have my date yet.
Well,
but-
when that date.
Oh, I will let you know.
Tell us.
And
We'll
then,
make sure we
yeah.
put it up on Facebook, but also I will be there because I really enjoyed Coma Land. Did you ever think
Enjoys
of
old virgins.
Did you ever think of doing something with like the Fringe Fest or something like that?
Yeah. I think that's probably where it'll.
Because it seems like that's
live.
the perfect venue for something like that.
Yeah, because they like more alternative stuff. Yeah.
Did you do Mortified also?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been?
I've been to Mortified. I saw the Mortified documentary.
On Netflix.
I've met the Mortified people.
Do you know Dave?
Yeah, I forget. Wait. And I was just talking to him.
Yeah, he was at my show.
He was at your show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They're like people I know more. Like I've talked to them at like a wedding, you know. I mean, it is like you know, but I don't really know them.
Yeah.
For a long time, a friend of mine, Carolyn Martone, who's friends with them, she was suggesting for a long time, oh, you should do Mortified, but I don't have any old diaries or old, like, you know, because...
Like, do you have any letters that you wrote?
No.
I have letters I received. The problem is it's like letters you wrote, you can send them. Like,
We should say this with Mortified. It is about... It's a show people go up and they kind of perform things from their... like old diaries or journals from when they were younger, and it's like, oh, I'm mortified.
It's like
by
found. It's like found
it's my
comedy.
favorite show. Yeah, it's like because it's so honest and real, and there are so many moments in the show when you're like laughing, but then you're also like, you get emotional at some of these stories.
Well,
you know,
it's really good, and I kind of wish I had stuff for it, but I feel like I don't have the material for it. Like
I'm sure you wouldn't be the first person to find an old letter.
Yeah.
But it'll always
No,
ring
they can
false
tell.
there.
The mortified people can tell.
I'll
They
take that letter. I'll
know.
drag it behind my car to age it.
And you told me one other thing you're working on. I want to make sure I got this right. It's a daybed talk show.
Yes.
What is this? And
Okay, this is another. Yeah, this is like a character. It's like a version of me. It's like a large child.
you're very like you got an Andy Kaufman thing going on. I mean,
She's just looking for an excuse to not get out of bed, but still like create content.
Yes, that's my dream. Oh no, but yeah, I did. we filmed the pilot episode, and it's so weird and wacky.
This is going to be a YouTube like thing.
Yeah, I'm looking for like a home for it right now. We have some people like interested in distributing
So
it.
what's the deal with it?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like a Between Two Ferns type talk show.
So it takes place.
But it takes place in my actual daybed.
Okay.
And yeah. So it's like, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Eric Andre show.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, except not as crass, I guess.
Yeah.
It's more like just you feel uncomfortable.
Well, let me tell you what.
You feel uncomfortable for everybody involved.
Because you're in your daybed.
And
Well, not even
people
just
come
that.
in, you interview them.
Yeah, people.
So if
And they sit in the
if this
daybed.
show's happening, you're gonna have us on. To interview?
I'll come in my
Yes.
pajamas.
Do you want to help me find someone to produce it? We just need. If you want to do that, you can be the first guest.
Go.
Len's trying to help. Remember Len?
No, I don't know who you're talking about.
You know Len from Sardo's.
Len.
This is good podcasting.
I don't know if I know Len.
Sardo's.
Maybe I know Len by
Oh
sight.
my gosh, we'll talk about this afterward.
Yeah, no, let's
Do
tease that.
people? Cause Sean just said he was going to come in his pajamas. Do people come in their
No,
pajamas?
I want them to treat it like a real talk show.
Also, like a suit.
Yeah.
And bring like a martini. Just
Yeah.
Like, where'd you get that? Like the old Dick Cavett show. Where they come out with
I want it to
I
be
like the
taken
old Dick
very
Cavett show,
seriously.
yeah.
cigars and scotches.
Yeah.
Well, Alyssa, you are doing so many things. It's exhausting. I've been trying to take on more things, and I can't do it. I've just given up. I'm just hoping somebody buys that book, and then I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Except maybe this podcast.
Maybe.
No, I would double down on this, actually.
Am I aware of this?
Yes. No, the second...
We're recording 3 times a week. What?
But you're doing so much. You need, first of all, I said it off air, I'll say this, I need you to hit it big so I can ride your coattails. I need you to create this wacky
He'll be your
shows
turtle.
so I could be,
Yes.
if you need me to go buy you a sandwich, I'll buy you a sandwich.
Yes.
If you need, I'd rather, sit around and, write ideas.
Yeah.
But as this is all developing, where can the people keep following you and find out what's going on and see all the shit? Find out when New Liver, Old Virgin, and the Daybed Talk Show, when all those things are happening.
So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Alyssa_Sabo. And yeah, you can follow me. You can find my YouTube channel, The Alyssa Sabo Show.
Highly recommended.
For the Kazoo Ladies on there, and Danny Beckman stand up.
So is Danny Beckman on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta check this out. Okay.
I'll send you guys the link. Yeah. It's pretty much where I post everything. I'm very open on my social media, especially my Instagram stories.
Do I follow you on Instagram? I don't think I do.
Instagram stories is where I share everything, my deepest, darkest secrets.
So, speaking of things that are deep and dark,
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
let's get to this. We've been talking about this every week on this show.
Yeah.
Because this is what everyone's, ever since the Weinstein thing, it's just like the dominoes keep falling. Before we get to the latest with Kevin Spacey, which is something we talked about on the last show, Louis C.K., you're a stand-up
I knew about
comedian.
this.
Everybody, but
Yeah.
I mean, I knew about this. It was like a terribly kept secret, and the Louis C.K. That I almost said allegations. They're not allegations because he admits to doing it. Of he would basically corner women and whip his dick out and masturbate.
Yeah.
There was an article in Gawker about it, in 2012. This is a terribly kept secret, but I guess because of the moment we are in the culture, it kind of came to a head, and we're at the right point where everybody's outraged about this. But you said you knew
You went
about
on the record also for the press. One question as well. There's 5 women that went on the record in the New York Times article. I'm assuming there are many more that haven't gone on the record. And
Probably.
has he continued to do this up until recent times, or is this a lot of stuff that happened 10 years ago and then
I mean,
everyone knows about it?
All the accounts seem to be from a while ago. I don't know. Do you know anything sooner?
I I'm not sure. I feel like if he was doing that a while ago, he's still doing it.
You just don't stop that kind of.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this then. Does it become... Because I was talking to a friend of mine who manages comics, and they said that he clearly has real... Like he, in his apology, which we'll get to in a second.
Not an apology.
Oh my God.
We'll get to that. In his quote-unquote apology, he didn't do anything where he was like... I gotta go to sex addiction. I gotta go. But I've heard like this one manager in comedy say like, oh no, he's got real issues that he needs to work through, compulsive issues that he can't control that do also come out in his comedy that you see. In fact, you were even just talking about the whole masturbation thing is a big part of his comedy.
Yeah.
Where was I going with this? I guess the idea is... Oh, that you don't stop doing this. That how much of this is just compulsion, or is it a sexual addiction? Like to not be able to stop doing this thing that he clearly knows is wrong. I don't know. I mean,
Well, I can think of, so maybe, and I'm speaking purely in hypotheticals here. If a lot of this happened years ago, before he was Louis C.K., he could have gotten to the point where he realized, oh, this shit, I shouldn't have done that. Now I'm a more public person than I was. And maybe he did, and I was going to base this on no evidence, but maybe he stopped doing it, but the things that he had done had already been done, and he had never reckoned with it, and you can't put the dick back in the pants.
Yeah, dick back
because like I said, he could have very well continued to do this, but I haven't heard anything where anyone said it was more recent.
Ooh, I mean, not that makes anything
exactly
good.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess I'm trying to understand the mind of the person who does this.
Yeah.
What are the people in the stand-up world, in the improv world? What do they say about it? Because this behavior seems rampant.
Yeah. I think, like, the thing that I've heard is, I mean, people are just saying, like, well, yeah, like, comedy, everything's just, like, really crazy, and there's no HR department in comedy, and
That
it's
sounds like an excuse.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's like, yeah, but this guy, and then people will say, like, oh, well, why were these girls even in his hotel room? And it's like, they're on the road. Like, it's like, and also, can they be friends? Can we just, like, recognize that he can be like a normal human to them? Like,
and
yeah, like, why do we have to be, why do the women have to be like, why were they in his hotel room?
And what if he was in their hotel room?
Yeah.
And comics, you made a great point. Comics live on the road.
They live on the road.
And this is where they get together. They get together in the hotel
they hang
rooms.
out. They get pizza. They watch movies. Like,
They jerk themselves off.
yeah, and it's like, why do they have to? No, I mean, I heard that a long time ago. Like, maybe even when I first started doing stand-up, from, like, people that, like, knew it was real.
Well, you know what?
So I was just like, yeah, I'm not, like, I don't. And then I started, like, I would look at his comedy and I'll be like, yeah, that guy's, like, an idiot. Like, he's gross. Yeah.
Well,
and I've, like, so I'm just glad now that the whole world knows.
I want to say something about that you hear these things. What's always been interesting to me since I've hung out with some comedians and I've done some storytelling shows with some, is I never realized how small of a difference from the top to the bottom there is in comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody's worked with, like, some guy who's only done a couple of shows has maybe done a set that Louis C.K. or Dave Chappelle or somebody was on because they dropped down at the Comedy Store that night. And from top to bottom, it is a very small world, and everybody seems to know everything about each other. You also said a thing about his comedy being disgusting. I mean, I thought he was funny. I thought the show. I thought the show Louis was a really fantastic show that was going to some interesting places, and there was an uncomfortable darkness about it. And you might.
I've always thought he was funny. Let me explain my relationship to him. I always thought he was funny, but I never loved him because I always felt there was something really cheap and easy about his comedy, you know. Yeah,
There is a darkness to it.
but he was like the confessional parts of the comedy would get confused and excused for being funny. You know,
Yeah.
it's one thing to just say dirty things and, you know, mime. He would do a lot of voices and a lot of racist stuff and a lot of jerking off motions and all that. I'm like, this isn't funny. This is just like, this is low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
But what about the show? What about
The show I
Louis?
liked, but I
Because
always found
Louis,
it
I
really
thought-
upsetting.
I thought that was. I think it was upsetting, but it also felt like slightly surreal and true to life. And I mean, I didn't watch Horace and Pete. You watched
That show's
Horace and
really
Pete.
that show's really upsetting. That show's like, that show's not trying to be funny at all.
But I mean, you would agree he's.
It was a hard watch.
But you would agree that he's a talented guy.
He is, yeah, he's a
Yeah.
talented guy. But I thought his comedy got less and less interesting the longer, the more it went. The more I was exposed to his comedy, the less interested I was. And I saw his most recent tour. I got invited by someone to go. I wouldn't have paid to go see. Like it wasn't high on my radar.
I paid
to go see.
it.
And it was fine. I laughed, but he spent half the show just doing racist voices. I'm like, this isn't funny. This is lazy. And then making fun of the fact that Aziz Ansari's name was on the microphone stand instead of his name, and that was good for 10 minutes of him bitching about why Aziz
I
Ansari,
think
why they
Aziz
couldn't
is
bother.
also a predator.
Is he?
No.
Yeah, he is.
Is he really?
Yes.
I heard Danny Beckman's a diddler.
No, the Z stuff will probably come out. I don't know. I've heard.
That strikes me very. Well, then he's done the exact opposite of Louis, then, because Louis is kind of in a weird way leaned into it, whereas Z's has gone the exact opposite way with what the fuck's the name of it? So Master of None with some of the plot lines on that. Let me ask you this about and now, and I don't know how this is going to come off, but
I heard Richard Pryor beats women.
Well, how much is Aziz Ansari a predator? Or is he just like shitty to like women?
I don't
he
know.
dates?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Like, because I mean because there's a line here. Like, you could just be an asshole and date
I
women
don't know.
And sleep around.
and sleep around and be a prick, but you're also not, sexually abusing women.
Yeah, like there's articles about like Fred Armisen being kind of bad to women.
Elizabeth Moss always tiptoes around that too. That she,
Who does?
His ex-wife Elizabeth Moss.
Oh yeah.
How he was not a good person.
Yeah.
But
you're gonna
I mean,
get
I
that.
hear I hear about comedians all the time being shitty to like their wives and cheating on their wives and stuff like that. Like, but that doesn't make them sexual. That makes them shitty people, not necessarily like predators. I don't know, but
Yeah.
maybe there is something about Aziz and stuff.
I don't know.
You heard it here first, people.
Here's the thing, like, don't idolize anybody.
Well, I saw a very funny tweet.
Especially celebrities.
Yeah.
Like, they're not perfect.
Can I idolize you,
Yes,
Alyssa
me,
Sabo?
you can. Everybody, you can idolize me. I'm perfect.
About a month and a half ago, I saw a tweet that 2016, all your heroes are dead. 2017, all your heroes are monsters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still roll the dice. I'm still going to roll the dice on people. I
Yeah.
admire.
Okay, good.
You're not losing that Woody Allen t-shirt.
I love Woody Allen. I love Woody Allen. You know what? If you want to hear my full-throated defense of Woody Allen, go listen to last week's
At any week prior to
episode.
that.
Yeah.
But it's not a thing I'm going to get into again because we don't have the
Were
time.
you going to watch that new movie?
Woody
I
Allen's
Love
new
You,
movie?
Daddy?
Oh, Louis C.K.'s new
Yeah.
movie. It wasn't high on my radar because it was coming out during award season, and I had stronger movie priorities. But it was on my radar enough that I thought I might get around to it.
Yeah.
You're a
But
big Chloe Grace Moretz fan.
you're a big Chloe Grace Moretz
Listen,
fan.
stop deflecting.
If we want to go back and listen to the archive, you're the big Chloe Grace Moretz fan. But no, I mean, like I said, it wasn't firmly on my radar because it wasn't. It's not an awards film, and
Yeah.
we're in awards season. But an awareness of it.
Gross.
I mean, I don't know.
What's about Woody Allen? Like, it's sort of like...
There's a Woody Allen-esque character in it.
Yeah.
Malkovich.
Real fast.
Yeah.
The other thing that happened in between the last time we recorded, Kevin Spacey got replaced in All the Money in the World. This is crazy because this movie comes out December 22nd, and they're going to reshoot all of Kevin Spacey's scenes and still meet their release date, and they replaced him with Christopher Plummer. The only part you were saying, Ridley Scott's like the only one who could do this.
Yeah, because he's got the technical skills and know-how, and he's got his team ready to go. And it's not just him; they got to bring in Mark Wahlberg and Michelle Williams, and they got to get the band back together. Because Kevin Spacey, I guess, shot for 8 days, and if you look at the trailer, he's in scenes with lots of people in like the desert in Egypt. It's not like they could just film a scene in some villa in Bel Air and call it a day.
I don't know. I have a feeling there might be a lot of Plummer in front of a green screen.
You think?
I mean, I don't know. When they're going to drag this old man out to the desert?
I want to see 95-year-old Christopher Plummer in the Andy Serkis suit with all the dots on it so they can golem him into the movie. With the 95 dots on his face.
I think he hasn't even shot yet. I think Plummer could get an Oscar nomination.
What happens if Plummer wins an Oscar for this movie?
Well, the thing is, I was hearing a lot of Oscar buzz for Kevin Spacey. In fact, a friend of mine who had seen the movie before all this Kevin Spacey news broke said it's Spacey's best performance in years. He's a shoo-in for a nomination.
Since
now he's not even in the movie.
Good.
Kevin Spacey, though, he's done. This is the last thing I want to say about Louis C.K. I don't think Louis C.K.'s done. I think 3 years from now, there's a stand-up special that he comes out, because I also think comedy, the world of stand-up comedy, is the perfect world in which he's never going to have a TV show again. He's never going to have that.
But I think he's his own industry. He creates his own special.
And I think stand-up comedy is world you can do that. And I think it's a very confessional medium where he could do a show about this and about his whole what he did, and people will watch it out of curiosity. Kevin Spacey's done. Kevin Spacey is probably going to kill himself.
All right, and you heard it here first, folks.
I mean, because he has nothing. He's got no family. He's got nothing. All he cared about was acting and touching boys, apparently. And both those things are gone now.
He'll find a boy.
Sean.
Sad.
Yes.
The iPhone X.
Yeah, let's do this real fast. iPhone X. It's very pretty. My friend got one. It's weird. It's just a big glass rectangle with no buttons.
Really?
It knows what your face looks like, and you can make little animated animal emojis that kind of look like you, but you move your face and your body and the emoji.
So you unlock the phone by looking at it?
Yeah. You can.
No.
Yes.
I'm leaving.
And move your face.
I don't want to be in this world anymore.
And
I don't like that.
It's really. They're saying that this is a problem with like cops, because if you're a criminal and they can just take your phone, if you're arrested, they can hold it in front of your face and it can unlock your phone.
Yeah, because right now the cops aren't allowed to go into your phone.
Right.
Like you need a warrant to go into a phone, right? Yeah, but now they could
be like, I don't know, it was unlocked. So
That's
the
so
phone.
scary.
Here's the thing: it's expensive. It's no more. The Google phone. Everyone's screaming
How
at
much is
$1,000.
it?
It's $1,000. But the Google.
You're gonna buy that, Alyssa?
The thing is that the new Samsung phone and the Google
homeless.
phone is just as expensive. But the question is, do we really need something that powerful?
No.
The camera on it is amazing, but at what point is enough technology enough in our pockets?
Yeah, people don't need that kind of camera unless they're a photographer.
We don't need this
We don't
power.
need it. We don't need it. I don't want it.
I was at the Americana. And there's
I like
Looking for
that more
Skechers?
than the Grove.
I like that more than the Grove.
Yeah.
There is no Skechers at the Americana. But I do like that more than the Grove.
Way
And
better.
I was there, and I saw this giant line, and I'm like, what is this for? And then someone's like, oh, it's for the iPhone.
Oh, my
You mean
gosh.
tell me all those fucking people on that line spend $1,000 on this
Well,
thing?
it gets amortized over the life of your contract.
I hope they drop it their first day.
You know what's
Well,
going
that's
to
why you
happen?
pay the extra $200 for the Apple Care.
I am so sick of these, of like iPhone, and they're making you, when you do that update, quote unquote, that just like ruins your phone.
I'm having my 6S. all
Yeah.
fucked
Oh,
up.
I keep turning down the update.
Yeah, me too.
I
Don't update your phone.
I'll
Don't-
update everything, and then I'm like,
No.
God damn it, why aren't you working anymore?
Yeah.
I love
mad.
technology. I love the iPhone. I love the idea. So as a kid, I was obsessed with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and the iPhone really is a Hitchhiker's Guide. I have this little device in my pocket that has all information that humanity has ever learned ever. Period.
That is kinda cool.
It's an encyclopedia in my pocket if you think about it that way. And so I love the idea of it, but it's just so. I'm getting to the point in my life where I've stopped like replying to emails. Like, if you want to get in touch with me, like, text me. Even emails now, I'm like, I'll deal with that later. It's just too many ways. And I was the first person.
I know. When there's something I really want to tell you, I text you.
Yeah.
If I can wait on it, I'll send you an email.
Because emails, I look at it and I go, I don't want to deal with this now. Because the email just kind of sits there.
Yeah.
But the text message, that needs pretty,
Yeah.
But how many ways do we need to be? It's weird because I've gone so full circle. Well, not even full circle because that means I'm back where I started. But I've gotten to such a strange place where I embrace this technology. I loved it. I loved having the videos and the Wikipedia and all that. But now it's like, no one. Who needs to get in touch with me? Like, what do you need from me? What do you want from me? Like, it's not that important. So yeah, technology will eventually destroy us all.
Yeah.
But at least it'll be pretty.
I try to leave my house without my phone.
Ooh, I can't do that.
You should do it.
I feel the same way I feel about phone that I feel about like cars and things like that. I could give a shit. It's a tool.
Yeah.
Like I don't fetishize this technology. The only thing I fetishize is like movies and apparently my Skechers. And I mean, I don't like
Skechers X.
but
They're $1,000.
Gotta have my Skechers.
like I just got a new iPhone over the summer.
Yeah.
But it's like 2-3 generations back.
You have
and
the 6, don't you?
Yeah.
That's what I have, 6S.
And I freaked out because I was originally going to get something that didn't have a thing to plug in my
You were going to get the
headphones.
7, yeah.
And I'm like, and the big problem was they're like, oh, well, you just hook it up like a Bluetooth into your car. Well, I don't have Bluetooth into my car because the car I have is just before like that shit became standard. So I got to get phones that sync up with my car. It's a big mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. You
Yeah.
just kill yourself. You and Kevin Spacey.
You and Kevin.
You're suicide. You guys are going throw yourself off the old Vic in London.
Oh my!
Because you seem to love that city so much.
I did love London.
I did love that.
The East End lovers. No, West End. That's where the theaters are.
Yes. Well, speaking of technology,
Yes.
Twitter finally did it. They finally gave all of us the bloated 280 character count we didn't want and certainly didn't need. After rolling it out to a few select Twitter elites, they finally allowed us peons to partake. And you know what I found? I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Anyone who listens to this show knows brevity is not my strong suit. But Twitter forced me to be brief. This was a good thing. It forced me to find a way to cut down all my fucking nonsense into small, quick bites. But no more. Now, I already find myself going past the 140 character mark I used to love. I used to love just 140, and I was getting good at hitting 140 like exactly, like it was something like it's just like in your brain. Your brain became wired to do that. But now, I'm going over. How far over am I going? Am I going a character over 2? Who the fuck knows? Because that asshole @Jack of Twitter no longer even has a number count. So we can't tell if we can't hit until we've hit 260 characters. We don't know how many we've hit. So I don't know. Even if I wanted to keep 140, they're not letting me. They're not letting me keep 140. Twitter was great because you could easily scroll through the timeline and read these quick sentences. Now it looks like a goddamn novel every third tweet when someone decides they have to fit all of Ulysses into one tweet. You can't read it that fast. And now I find myself falling into the trap. I'm shoving 2 tweets, things that should have been 2 tweets. Also, there should have been 2 tweets for fucking comic timing. But 2 tweets into 1 tweet because why not? Why aren't you gonna? Instead of sending 2 tweets about the movie The Disaster Artist, I'll send 1. It's stupid. And now you gotta read my novel about a movie you probably don't even want to go to see. And that's why you, Twitter, or this week's Enemy of the Podcast, go fuck yourselves. You ruined your platform. You ruined what's good about your platform. Alyssa, am I overreacting?
No, I actually agree. And I want you to keep going because it's so fun to watch. No, yeah, I definitely agree. Because now, to be honest, I'm not even excited to scroll through Twitter anymore. Twitter because I just see
Now
like
the racism and sexism just isn't as interesting as it used to be.
but it's just like it is. It's become a little too much, and when you have like 4 tweets in a row that are over 200 characters, I'm just like, you know what? If I wanted this, I would read an article.
Yeah.
Twitter is supposed to be a fun, short, little, quick, jazz to go to the store later. It's all I live for. Boom, that's a good tweet.
That's a good tweet. I hope if you tweet that out after the show, I will retweet that.
Jazz to go,
Poopid.
jazz to go to the store later, period. It's all I live for. And that's what, it's like, it has this, it's like, yeah, Twitter, you're right. And it did the same thing for me. And now, I don't even think I can do the 200. I didn't even download the thing. Don't you have to, like, download something?
Nah, they just give it to you.
Well, you do have to
Or what?
download the
You have
newest
to, like,
version on
yeah.
your phone.
Oh, I
I
update
didn't-
all
like
that
those
stuff.
Twitter
Yeah.
updates.
I didn't do that.
And
I don't even want the option.
I thought about not doing it, but then again, it's also, Sean, right? I'm being like a little stupid here because I do sometimes send 2 tweets about a movie.
Yeah.
But now I could put it all in 1 tweet. So what's the difference?
I like
but
the
there is
2
a difference.
tweets. There's a difference.
So a few
There's
things.
a
Listen, you
difference.
said Twitter was supposed to be. Twitter was supposed to be nothing. Twitter is a mistake that the universe materialized, and now we're all living with the consequences. Twitter
Yeah.
is an aberration and historical nightmare.
Historical night.
So you no longer has no longer has the character count. It has this little fucking wheel. So you don't know where you are vis-a-vis the wheel. And the
Yeah.
other thing is now they haven't expanded the size of the boxes. So people will tweet to 280, but when you scroll through it, it's not large enough to fit it all into one spot. So now it's ... So now I gotta
Ugly.
stop it. I gotta click on things now to read the
Yeah.
rest of the overlong tweet I didn't want to read in the first place. And tweet storms have
No,
gotten out.
that's only if you
Maybe on the app.
retweet, I think. If
No,
you
I've
quote
seen-
retweet.
All I know is I'm clicking on a lot of tweets to see the end of it. The other thing is also that tweet storms have gotten out of control because it would already be like 1 out of 47. But now each one of those little nuggets is a fucking paragraph. And you're
Yeah.
right. It's like if I wanted to read a book, I would have paid attention in 2nd grade.
Yeah.
So. But you know what? We're all hooked on Twitter. We're not getting off
I mean,
Facebook.
I do like Twitter.
Where else am I going to find out
I
that
like
all my
Twitter better
heroes,
than Facebook.
all my heroes are diddling kids?
Twitter
Yeah.
is Twitter better than Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, it's weird
and I
because
don't
on
like.
Facebook. You get to choose who your friends are, but they're like, "Oh, all my friends are assholes." On Twitter, at least you get to
And
read
people,
like funny
I think
people.
on Facebook, like I'll try to post something, and people don't get it. Like they don't get sarcasm.
Twitter
on
gets
Facebook.
your humor.
Yeah, Facebook is like I'll get grandmas and aunts being like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine."
Twitter understands.
And then a lot of Trump articles that friends are posting. Oh,
Oh
geez.
yeah, like
Twitter
"Eee."
understands that you're jazzed to go to the store. That's all you live for.
I can't wait for that
Facebook
tweet.
You know what? It was off the cuff. I could usually come up with something funnier.
You better tweet that. If you don't,
I will.
I'm gonna be.
I will.
He's gonna
I'm
burn
doing
this
it.
mother
I will
down.
do it.
And I will retweet it.
I tweeted something similar to that today about like not having syrup but using chocolate icing.
I saw that. That would sound very exciting.
And it's good. It was good. Yeah.
The corollary to that, if you run out of milk for your cereal, do not try eating Cheerios with eggnog. It does not taste good.
Oh really? Or like creamer.
Yeah, it's not good.
I love that you have eggnog in your fridge.
Tis the season.
It is eggnog season.
Peak nog season.
Do you guys drink eggnog with alcohol in it?
You can, but sometimes you just want some straight
Just
nog.
straight up nog.
I don't even drink eggnog.
You don't?
Well, so
My
I
dad
I just
used to
drink the
love
alcohol.
eggnog.
My,
Oh, really?
my dad used to take us.
My dad
like,
loved nog.
For me, November 1st is the best day of the year because that's when I get my first eggnog latte of the season at Starbucks. And always
Oh.
I get the cup. You see what the new holiday cup
You
looks
like the Starbucks
Eggnog
specialty
latte.
drinks?
Just the eggnog latte.
Just the eggnog
I don't need
latte.
peppermint in it. It's
I
crap.
hate the word eggnog more than anything.
Yeah. It's not a
I
good
hate how much
word.
we've said it.
Nog. Is it the egg part or the nog
It's both.
part?
It's all of it.
it's all those Gs, all those hard
Too
Gs.
much. I can't handle it.
So I always like to end on a weird, upsetting note.
Oh, this is upsetting.
This
Yeah.
this one's for you.
Okay.
This one I thought of you when I saw this one. A 28-year-old South African endured a rare case of penile strangulation after squeezing his wedding ring around his sex organ for erotic reasons. The unnamed man was apparently attempting to use the wedding ring as a substitute cock ring. For those who don't know, a sex toy that holds blood in the penis to heighten sexual response. The ring caused the man's penis to swell up so much that he was unable to remove it. when the patient's mother brought him to a hospital. Why didn't the person he was going to use the cock ring on, the wife, I assume he's got a wedding ring. But anyway, when his mother brought him to the hospital, his penis had been erect for 4 hours and was turning blue.
Oh my god.
At first, doctors tried to cut the ring off with tiny surgical saw, but that failed because the swelling made it difficult to get close to the ring without causing further injury. Doctors eventually made multiple puncture aspirations with a syringe and a pink needle to reduce the swelling. Here's my big question, though, about this.
Why'd you think of me with that story? What the hell?
You knew you'd be jazzed.
Jazzed. Okay.
Here's my big question. How big is this ring, or how small is this penis?
Yeah.
Because a ring.
It's a little needle dick.
Are you wearing a ring?
No.
None of us are wearing rings.
Well, not on my finger.
But
Ew. No,
but
yeah,
like
that's
rings
very
aren't big. Like
true.
you look at, look, I don't know. I shouldn't be judging other men's penises, but I think most
Usually
of them
the size of a penis is
thicker than
a
your finger.
and even like a thumb. I don't know, but if he's got a wedding ring, that means it's on his
That's still
ring
not
finger.
a...
That's a very small.
Yeah.
What is a cock ring? What's the size of that?
Well,
You
it's
can look that up.
adjustable. It's
Yeah.
like a C-clamp.
Oh,
and so
it's adjustable. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Or there's different
'cause-
sizes, and it
Never
comes in
heard of this
more.
stuff.
It comes in more cock-appropriate
Oh
sizes.
gosh. All right.
Yeah.
You should do that comedy show down at the Pleasure Chest. Find out all about it.
Yeah. Oh, I guess they're doing a new porn star karaoke
Where?
at somewhere in Tarzana.
I'm not going to. First of all, I never went to porn star karaoke to begin with. I mean, I've
Oh,
been,
yeah.
but I
Yeah.
never went regularly.
On the reg.
And two, I'm not going to Tarzana.
Tarzana?
I've been thinking of going to the Burbank Bar and Grill on a Thursday night.
Okay.
And friend of the show, Freddie Boutros, has been going to the Holiday Inn in
Yeah.
downtown
On
Burbank.
Friday.
You should come with us.
I will.
sometime.
I will. This Friday.
Well, not this Friday.
Why?
Well, I got plans.
Okay.
Well, is that free to do some lounge singing?
Oh, you got plans? What are you doing this Friday?
It's none of your business.
Ooh.
It involves penile aspiration.
No.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
my Saturdays involved.
Ah.
so.
Oh yes.
And on that note,
Don't you have a holiday party?
two
On that
Saturdays.
note.
On that note, you have a holiday party too.
Yeah.
On that note, Alyssa Sabo,
Yes.
thanks for coming on the show and being hilarious.
Thank you guys. What a joy. What a blessing.
This was
what
wonderful.
a pleasure.
One more time, tell the people where they can find you.
Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Alyssa ALYSSA_Sabo. S-A-B as in boy. Oh.
Sean.
You can follow me on all forms of social media at the Sean David.
You can follow me on Twitter at The Real Will Link. We're off next week because it's Thanksgiving. We're going to eat a bunch of turkey.
Gobble gobble.
And then the week after that, we're having Minimus Maximus on.
Are you not entertained?
Minimus Maximus is the co-host of the Off the Cuffs podcast,
We probably should have saved this weird topic for him, honestly.
which is all about, BDSM.
Oh.
And he's going to come on. He's gonna talk
Divesting
about
from
that.
Israel sanctions?
Exactly.
Okay.
And he's going to talk about, his podcast is grown quite a bit, and they've had some interesting guests, and we're going to discuss all of that with.
And then we're working on some more guests for the end of the year, and of course we would not have the year end without bringing in our closer.
Yeah, we haven't reached out to him yet, but we assume
Yeah, he'll be fine.
we know the last guest of the
Yeah,
year, and if
he's
you listen every year, you know.
He's warming up in the bullpen. And on that note, Alyssa, thank you so much for coming on the show and for the Will Sean podcast. I'm Sean David.
I'm willing.
We are finished.
We're finished.